General Shelton closed with the phrase, "Your word is your bond." How appropriate that we now are going to hear from the former director of the FBI, who can tell us with the utmost credibility why it matters to have credibility. This issue fundamentally comes down to the facts, and the facts should prevail. Our next speaker will talk about how the politicization of the FTO list undermines the security of our country and compromises the integrity of our justice system. Let's hear it for FBI Director Lou Frank.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Patrick, for the introduction, and my colleagues, many of whom, as you heard, are long-standing colleagues, many good friends. I think I've worked with all of you directly or indirectly over the years, and it's a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon, and welcome to New York City. So a little bit about the details, and as Mayor Julie said, I want to go back to his discussion of appeasement, and I come, Mayor, to the same conclusion that you do. Let me talk about the history. The history here is a very embarrassing one and a very disturbing one. In 1997, you all know the history, but I think it's worthy of reviewing quickly. 1997, the administration, the Democratic administration, decided to put the MEK on the Foreign Terrorist Organization list. And it was done very clearly, and there are witnesses, including myself at the time, I was the FBI director, who understood it was being put on there for a political reason, not because the group had any factually documented terrorist activity or inclination against the United States. It was put there to facilitate a dialogue with the mullahs. The next administration, a Republican administration, fell into the same trap. They were told, and we have witnesses in the administration who will say this, I wasn't there, they were told in effect that we wouldn't be seeing all the IEDs in Iraq that were blowing up young American soldiers if we kept this organization on the list. So we kept them on the list. And you know what? The dialogue attempts continued. The nuclear weapons program accelerated, by the way, and more IEDs and more sophisticated IEDs continued to kill Americans, and not just in Iraq. So the politics of appeasement, ladies and gentlemen, don't work. We're still, unfortunately, stuck with our rotten-on-the-shelf policy with respect to Iranian appeasement. And there are still apparently some knuckleheads at Foggy Bottom who harbor the illusion that if we just don't annoy them too much, we'll somehow be able to have a dialogue. Well, we know that's preposterous. It's silly. It's ridiculous to even posit as an argument. But that's the only inclination, that's the only possible explanation. You know, Winston Churchill once said, the Americans can be counted upon to do the right thing after they've exhausted every other possibility. Well, this administration and administrations before them have exhausted every rational possibility. There cannot be any other reason. So we call today upon our State Department, our President. I mean, if you were the President of the United States, would you want the former FBI director demonstrating outside your house? You know, you know what we've got? Look, you know, we may be civilians, right? But there's 21 of the most renowned, count me out of it, by the way, 21 of the most renowned terrorist experts in the world, saying we've looked at this, we've studied it, we've interviewed Mrs. Rajavi. They are not a terrorist organization.